I greet you all, beloved. I am still revealing the contents of the meeting of Lucifer that lasted 6 months in the second heaven. In his book, the devil had 70 strategies against the church, 10 commandments against the church, and 30 steps to cause a Christian to sin and remain in sin. As the scriptures say, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. I will talk about the 15 processes of the devil prior to the downfall of a Christian that we call temptation. These are the means used by Lucifer and demons to cause a Christian to sin. In this meeting, I heard the devil saying, in order to begin the process of temptation, we will have to wait for the targeted Christian to be alone. Once the Christian is alone, then we have to whisper in his mind our inspiration or negative thoughts. We will whisper in the mind of the targeted Christian our inspiration, which are negative thoughts urging him to commit evil. The devil said that this is not yet his fall, but the first step that will lead him to fall. He said the appropriate moment to transmit Christians' evil thoughts is when they are alone. When people are alone in loneliness or solitude, they are likely to be visited by the devil in their minds. Demons will whisper in the mind inspiration, which is negative thoughts. Beloved, when you are thinking negative thoughts, you are certainly on course to fall into sin because every sin begins in the mind. As the scriptures say, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. The devil said, after inserting negative thoughts into the mind of the Christians, we will have to use a human agent who will encourage them to proceed to action. The purpose of this human agent will be to provide justification or encouragement for the victim to proceed to action. The human agent will water down the gravity and implication of sin. As the scriptures say, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. The third process is called the word of contradiction. Lucifer said, we're going to have to use a second agent here. He said, when God created the Garden of Eden and his creation, in order to cause the downfall of his creation, I had to use an agent which was a serpent. The purpose of this agent is to contradict the word of God that forbade Adam and Eve from eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The devil said to the participants, in the Garden of Eden I used the serpent as an agent, and I said to Eve, you shall not die as the Creator said, but your eyes will open, and you shall be like him, despite the fact they were already in the image and likeness of God. This contradiction of the word caused Eve to be at ease with herself, and to go against the word of the Creator. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins, let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. The devil said, in the fourth process we will cause believers to tolerate evil. He said, I will send my agent to cause desire. The devil was to send a group of demons around believers to cause them to be curious as to why sin and evil have forbidden the desire to try to break the law. As the scriptures say, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. In the fifth process, the devil said, we will use the 5 senses in order to advance the downfall of Christians. When the followers of Jesus Christ connect to him through prayers, they detach themselves from the physical world that is my domain. But when they finish being in his presence, their 5 senses get reconnected to the physical world, which is my world. Remember, I told the one, Jesus Christ, I will give you the kingdom of this world and their glories because they belong to me. The devil said to the audience attending the Oval Auditorium, let me assure you, make no mistake, the earth was given to me. It belongs to me, including all the kingdoms in it. The devil said, the moment these Christians leave the presence of their God, whether it's prayer or worship or the reading of the word, their spirits will be reconnected to the material world through the 5 senses. Their eyes will see women's shapes moving in the street. They will watch movies. As the scriptures say, the eye is the lamp of the body. So, if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? In fact, their spirits that have attended the presence of God will begin to assimilate and adapt to the system and the rhythm of the world that belongs to me. The 5 senses are the tool by which the kingdom of Lucifer pushes believers towards the downfall of temptation. When the 5 senses connect us to the natural, material, and physical realities, we are corrupted gradually. It is only the life in the presence of God that matters. Prayer brings us to the presence of God. As a result, we get disconnected from this world of the devil. But prayer is not just verbal communication with the Lord, it is also a lifestyle. Prayer is the attitude and heart disposition before God. During the day, our thoughts, our mind, our spirit must be turned towards the Lord and the things from above. Our inclination, disposition, and mind must align with the divine. Prayer is also a verbal expression of our hearts. You can be at work, but still connected to God. You can be at school, but your mind is aligned with heaven. You can be in the market, but your spirit is turned to heaven. As the scriptures say, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. The devil said, we will cause the believers to cherish that which are forbidden to them. Then the devil said, we have to cause them to be weak. This happens when a Christian begins to have second thoughts about the very sin he used to distance himself from. As the scriptures say, let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, to make you obey its passions. And, thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. In the seventh process, the devil said, I will dispatch my servants, the visitors. As a result, Christians would be visited by my servants, demons. Their purpose is to insist and provide justification in the mental level of the believers. They will harass their minds. These demons will insist, harass, and push Christians until they fall. The purpose of these demons is insistence and harassment in the minds of the Christians. As the scriptures say, be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. The devil said, when a Christian has been whispered with evil thought, when he is connected to the world with his five senses, when he is weak and he is having a second thought about sin, when my servants, the demons, are insistently harassing his mind and insisting on his mental level, we will have to cause him to be in a surrounding or among companions that do precisely the things that we are whispering to him to do. When he sees people around him doing it, he will find it normal, as bad company corrupts good minds. As the scriptures say, do not be deceived, bad company corrupts good morals. You must understand that all unbelievers can be a tool of the devil. Therefore, avoid friends that are not Christians. The devil said, my agents will cause Christians to doubt and question that which is already forbidden. This is the ninth process, just like Eve doubted the word of God. As the scriptures say, for we have heard the good news, just as they did. They heard the message, but it did them no good, because when they heard it, they did not accept it with faith. Concerning the 10th process, the devil said, we will cause the followers of the other one to reject the word of God during the preaching. He said, I will send my agents or demons to whisper to believers during the preaching of the word. As a result, they will manifest rejection of the word that is preached to them. One will speak in his mind and say, does this preacher really practice what he is preaching? Beloved, you must understand that these demons are sent inside churches during the preaching of the word. The devil said to the demons, as people in the church sit in line, I want each of you to stand in line in parallel with the seats of the believers. The devil said to his demons, you will form lines in order to whisper continually to them during the delivering of the word. As the scriptures say, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Later, the archangel Michael recommended me to anoint the four corners of the church before the service. And I do just that before any service. Intercessors take possession of the four corners of the church through prayers before the service, in order to stop the entry of demons during the service. The protocol must be prepared by Christians who are prayer warriors, because the enemy will have to pass through them. They are spiritual soldiers, therefore they must be fiery. Who makes his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire? As the scriptures say, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Then the devil ordered the demon dressed like Superman to cause people to visit the children of God on the day of the church service. The demon was supposed to visit and whisper to their minds and blow a bluish smoke on them 4 hours before the church service in order to make them feel heavy and weak. As the scriptures say, I will not give sleep to mine eyes, or slumber to mine eyelids. He said, the word of the other one, Jesus, said that the word is spirit and life. If Christians go to church, they will hear the word of God. They will transmit life and spirit. As the scriptures say, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. The devil said, we must cause millions of Christians to come irregularly to church. As the scriptures say, it is good and sweet for brothers to meet as the oil is poured in the gathering. As it is written in Psalm 133, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. The Lord commands blessings to come on those who gather together in church. That is why Satan is desperate to prevent Christians from going to church. These are the 11 processes of Satan and his cohorts to cause the temptation and downfall of believers. The fourth commandment of Satan, bewitching Saturdays to cause Christians to return to their vomit. I greet you all, beloved. I am still revealing the contents of the meeting of Lucifer that lasted 4 months in the second heaven. In his book, the devil had 70 strategies against the church, 10 commandments against the church, and 30 steps to cause a Christian to sin and remain in sin. God has made the law with 10 commandments, but the devil, being the opponent and imitator of God, also wants to make his own laws. Therefore, he also wants to make the 10 commandments. Today I want to share about the fourth commandment of the devil. The fourth commandment of God is written in Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The fourth commandment of the devil is, remember Saturdays to keep it unholy. The devil called the fourth commandment Saturday. I got scared by the things that the devil unveiled in this phase of the meeting. At this stage, Lucifer said, let all my servant witches and wizards rise in the auditorium. He said, you know, we have meetings every Saturday at midnight for reporting the week's activities. The objective of the commandments of the devil is about making laws. Every commandment is a law. The devil said to the participants, particularly the witches and wizards, we shall work in order to cause believers to come back to the things they have abandoned long ago. According to the devil, Saturday is the day there will be a return to the things we believers have abandoned. And before announcing the fourth commandment, Lucifer turned himself to a dog-head creature. Then he said, anybody that will come back to things he has abandoned is like a dog who came back to things he has vomited. The devil wanted to send a message that every believer who returns to things he has abandoned has adopted the image of the dog, or the image of the devil who has turned to this dog-head humanoid. As the scriptures say, but it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. The devil said, we must get believers to return to the things that they have abandoned. Is it not written in their law that the dog has returned to the things he has vomited? And any believer that has returned to the things he has vomited, he has consequently adopted my emblem of a dog head. That's why I have adopted the emblem of the head of a dog. Even if these people claim to be born again, if these Christians go back to things that they have abandoned, they have adopted my emblem of a dog head, and they resemble me. They will do what I said, as they are my servants, and I am stronger than their God. Dear believers, by returning to the old habits of sins, we are adopting the emblem of the enemy and the image of the dog head and will look like the devil. Later, the devil lifted the members of the audience out of the oval auditorium in the air, and we all stood in space observing people in the 5 continents. As we were observing, we noticed that almost all the people of the whole world had dog heads, just like the devil who had the shape of a humanoid with the head of a dog, and almost everybody on earth had the head of a dog. We saw in different churches all over the world, Christians and believers with dog heads because they were living in sin. They have returned to things that they have renounced previously. As a consequence, they have adopted the emblem of the dog head. While we were observing the world population with dog heads, the devil said, the whole world resembles me, even Christians. He asked the participants, who is stronger, the other one or me? The whole assembly of demons and humans knelt down in order to worship him and professed him to be the God. I want to say that all of our celebrations and parties are held on Saturdays. All the wedding celebrations and birthday parties take place on Saturdays. Consequently, believers do attend these parties and celebrations and are affected by the Saturday strategy of the enemy. By attending parties and celebrations on Saturdays, whether we like it or not, we will listen to secular music, therefore exposing ourselves to things we have abandoned long ago. And if you observe believers who attend these parties and celebrations, especially women, they dress up in sexy attire and expose themselves as unbelievers and justify their dressing as outing clothes. Saturday is a strategic day for the devil, as believers are exposed to things they have abandoned a long time ago. The devil said to the audience, "Make sure that on Saturdays Christians are exposed to things that they have abandoned. Let Saturdays be a day of defilement, impurity, and stain for the believers. Let bars, hotels, and brothels be full on Saturdays. Beloved, on Saturdays the devil takes the world in hostage and subjects it to intense demonic activities." He said to the participants, "I will introduce to you my tetrad, which is a group of 4 regiments of demons." He said, "This is how we shall work on Saturdays. Let the world be affected by the first wave of power starting from midnight. Beloved, from midnight of every Saturday morning, the first wave of satanic power is unleashed on planet Earth at midnight from a terrestrial command base, which is a country on this Earth. We know that Washington is the political power, and the Vatican is the seat of religious power. I pray that the Lord would send an angel. I will ask him to clarify this issue of the throne of Satan on planet Earth. I was saying that when it is midnight from the country where the throne of Satan is established, the first satanic wave is unleashed onto the earth from midnight to 11:59 a.m. Lucifer said, "From midnight to 11:59 a.m., my 58,000 agents, demons, will be deployed on the earth in the 5 continents. They must blow or deploy the wave of darkness and defilement on the earth while humans are sleeping." These demons were deployed on Saturdays, and they were blowing a bluish smoke all over the world, and the people who were inhaling them were coming under the influence of the kingdom of darkness throughout that period of the day. The devil said, "People that are inhaling these bluish smoke will be influenced to do something that they did not do throughout the week. As this demonic activity is programmed to start from midnight, you can wake up on Friday before midnight and attack this tetrad of demons that Lucifer has scheduled to deploy throughout the day of Saturdays. As Saturday in itself is a law in the spirit realm, and that law is at work in people's lives, and causes them to have a desire to do something that they did not think about during the week. You may be thinking of an old girlfriend or boyfriend. This is because the devil wants people, especially Christians, to come back to things that they have abandoned. People wake up with the desire and impulse to do things because the first troops of demons are already deployed at midnight when everybody is sleeping. The second troops of demons are deployed from 12 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they are 32,000 of them. I heard the devil saying, "You shall work to cause humans and believers to be earthbound in their hearts. The preoccupation of the things of this world must be their priorities." He said, "I want you to get God off their minds. The other one, Jesus, should not be in their minds on Saturdays. They should be focused on other preoccupations, not him." The third troops of demons are deployed by the devil from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and they are 28,000. The devil commanded them to cause humans to desire leisure, entertainment, and enjoyment on Saturdays. The fourth troops of demons are deployed all over the world to patrol the 5 continents from 8 p.m. to midnight. Their number is 62,000. What happens is that every Saturday from 8 p.m. in the night to midnight is actually a bewitchment. Let me explain, because Saturday is a period of intense demonic activity. This fourth troops of demons of the fourth or last segment of the day also work against the day of Sunday. And when people wake up on Sundays, they are still under the power of these demons. As Lucifer was organizing the last segment of the day of Saturday, I heard him saying, "The reign of my servant Lilith will start from 8 p.m. to midnight every Saturday at the deployment of 62,000 demons." Beloved, while you are invited and you are attending that celebration or party, and while secular music is playing and people are enjoying, remember that the demon Lilith is reigning over all of these pleasures and enjoyments happening on Saturday nights. Lilith is the lady of witches. She works with demons who molest men and women in dreams. She deploys witches and demons who molest people in dreams. And finally, she deploys spirits of pleasure every Saturday night. As a result, prostitution and fornication reach its peak during these hours of Saturdays. Remember, we have nothing to do with the pleasure of this world. Do not adopt the emblem of Lucifer, a dog who has returned to what he has vomited. Then Lucifer enumerated 3 objectives. He said, We will work so that believers get busy on Saturdays. We will work so that the other one, Jesus, is not in the mind of believers on Saturdays. And we must work so that when these believers wake up on Sundays, they will feel very tired. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in our next video.